Facing an IPO party this Diwali on Dalal Street. Nykaa coming out with its $7 billion plus IPO. Also joining that party is Fino Payments. It's coming out with a 1,200 crore rupee IPO. The price band has been set at 560 to 577 rupees a share. The fresh issue involves about 300 crores. The balance is via the offer for sale. Listing date is 12th of November. Fino Payment Bank is promoted by Blackstone, ICICI Group, BPCL, as well as the IFC. What all does it do? Well, it provides several financial products and services digitally that include current and saving accounts, insurance. It also has the largest network of micro ATMs. Joining us to talk more about this IPO is the top management at the top boss, Rishi Gupta. Thank you so much, Mr. Gupta, for being a part of this interview on ET Now. You've announced the price band. My first question to you is, we've been talking about frothy valuations here on the channel. Have you left enough value on the IPO table for investors?
Absolutely, Nayantara. Our objective has always been that we should leave money for people who are coming in now. So with that objective, we have only set up the price valuation, the bench, the price range which we have sent for the shares. It's with that basis only.
Why should a retail investor buy into the Fino story? Because there has only been 1 year of profitability, the allocation would have to be less, right? For retail, 10%. Why should a retail investor apply?
See, we are a very different company. If you look at from a payments bank perspective, we are looking at the emerging India, the Bharat. We are the digital bank for the Bharat as such. Our objective is to reach the last mile in every nook and corner of the country. We have somewhere around 7.77 lakh merchant points across the country as of August 31st, 2021. With that objective, we have been able to democratize the entire banking and make it possible for the last mile to actually come and bank with us. Over and above that, we have seen a good growth in our business. We are a profitable entity. If I look at on year-on-year growth basis, we have nearly grown 50% on a transaction value between Q1 of this year versus Q1 of last year. There has been a nearly 36% growth on revenue in the last in this quarter vis-a-vis the last quarter, which is there. So there has been a growth on our business. We are a profitable entity. We are making banking reach the last mile so that more and more people can join and use our services for financial transactions and benefit from that. We have actually democratized the entire ecosystem. And during the last 1.5 to 2 years, we have seen the shift in the consumer behavior also to come to neighborhood banking and neighborhood points for doing transactions. So there is a big multiple which is expected on the business as we go forward. And especially looking at the past, we have seen there's a big growth which has come into our ecosystem.
Can you tell us how having ICICI Group and BPCL as promoters has worked for you, especially when you're looking at the unbanked?
So BPCL is one of the largest oil marketing company in the country. They have millions of customers coming to their petrol pumps every day, every month. So what we have done is we have put up a transaction point in many BPCL outlets, especially in the rural, semi-urban and the highway. And people, when they come to fill up their petrol, they also get a financial transaction. Then could be a simple transaction of cash withdrawal, deposit, remittances, or opening an account and transacting in that account. So we have been able to gain substantially, and BPCL is able to provide more services to their customers when they come up for a fuel recharge. As far as ICICI is concerned, we were incubated by ICICI Bank way back in 2006. ICICI Bank continues to be our partner on the insurance side, which is ICICI Pru and ICICI Lombard. For ICICI Bank also, we continue to work for them on the BC business. So there has been a good, long relationship with both the entities who are shareholders, as well as we do some business with them.
Are you a fintech with some, ingredients of a conventional bank? I'm asking this because your philosophy is to go for the unbanked, and I would imagine the margins there are lower.
So we are actually Fintech with a banking license. Our banking lessons enable us to become owners of the customer as well as to offer products which we can do on our own book. So we look at ourselves as a technology company, and we have a big technology backbone on which we do transactions. So as you know, Payments Bank can't offer credit on their own books. So we are a transaction platform bank where through technology platform we are able to connect a customer to a merchant or a mobile ecosystem where they can come and do transactions all across the country. So transactions could be as simple as withdrawal, deposits, savings account, remittances, insurance, bill payments. So we behave like a technology fintech company, but we have an enablement of being a bank. We don't consider ourselves as a conventional bank, or we don't look at ourselves as an asset-based bank. We look at us as a transaction, as a fintech ecosystem creator.
So you are a fintech going after the unbanked with a banking license. You've just told me how in the first quarter, that's the April to June quarter of this financial year, you've seen a significant uptick in your bottom line as well as your top line. I know you can't give forward-looking statements, but tell us, what are the growth plans?
So, Nayantara, the growth for us will continue to come on expansion of the merchant network. We grew by about from 6.4 lakh merchants as of March 2021 to 7.77 lakhs as of August 2021. So there has been a substantial growth of 1.3 lakh merchants in the 5 months of this year. We continue to expand our merchants. We'll continue to offer more products onto the merchant. We right now are quite active on the liability side as well as on the payment side. We are entering some products on the credit side along with partners, and on investment, we already have insurance. We'll add more products on the investment side as well. And that is where we see growth coming in. Over and above that, we are building digital rails for our customers where we can directly engage with them and cross-sell more products in the future. So that is our focus, and that's where we see there is substantial growth which is still ahead of us.
Would your data available with you that how many customers you have now and how many of them you brought into the banking ecosystem for the first time?
So roughly, we add about 1.5 to 2 lakh accounts per month. So that is customers which we are adding on a monthly basis. Last year the number was around 3,000 accounts per day. This year the accounts number is about 6,000 accounts per day. So there is a jump in number of people who are coming and joining our bandwagon on customer as such. So you can say that roughly we have about 3.5 million accounts on our ecosystem as of now. Those accounts are something which we have brought into the banking ecosystem as such. More than that, I think a lot of people who are already customers of some other banks but don't have proper access to financial services and are not able to reach their own bank, they come to our point, which could be within your neighborhood, within your own small village or a town, and they can come and do transactions for withdrawals, remittances to our platform. Those numbers are quite high.
Mr. Gupta, how are you going to handle competition? The point is that all banks now realize that they need to become fintechs as well. Look at your promoter group, ICICI Bank, getting rewarded on the stock markets for growing like a fintech or like with a fintech speed, right? Kotak is doing it. Same time, you're seeing, very well capitalized fintechs which also want to serve the same audience that you are. How are you going to manage this competition, and how are you going to stand out? What's your differentiator?
So our differentiation comes from our core basis on which we set up the bank, which we call DTP, which is distribution, technology, and partnerships. So we are actively engaging and expanding our distribution network across the country. We are, as I mentioned, 7.7 lakh merchant points. That number is expected to grow further. So through the distribution, we are able to reach the last mile, which is an asset-light, scalable model. So we don't invest a very high fixed cost or a fixed asset in building up the network for the banks and like a bank as such. So that is the uniqueness which is there. Technology is something we don't have legacy systems. We have developed everything in the last 4-5 years. Our interface with the merchant or the customers are very, very simple and intuitive. And partnerships, we are into business of building partnerships, whether on products or distribution, on technology. And that is something which is unique to Fino. I would say that we are built up for this target segment. and we are focusing on this business, and we do it 24/7. And our entire product range, our technologies, our networks are built to service this kind of customers, and that is where our focus is. The focus is something which differentiates us with vis-a-vis some of the bigger players and the bigger entities you just mentioned, because we are just focusing on this ecosystem which we want to service.
You're not going to be bitten by the buy now, pay later bug?
So we don't offer credit on our own books right now. We have partnerships with NBFCs and banks to offer credit products. I think there is enough room within the country to expand both on the credit as well as on expansion on transaction platforms. And it is just a start of reaching the last mile, I would say.
In your filings before the market regulator, Fino has taken a lot of credit for micro ATMs, which became very popular, particularly during the lockdown and branches were shut down or could not be serviced, etc. What exactly is a micro ATM? Explain to our viewers.
So micro ATM is a small device, maybe a size smaller than a mobile phone. So ATM does a couple of functions. ATM gives you money as well as it enables transaction digitally. And so what we have done is we have broken this entire offering through a merchant network. The entire technology part is done by the micro ATM. You bring your debit card and swipe it or pin it into the ATM machine, micro ATM machine. And through technology and through the NFS rails, it goes into the backend and the transaction happens. The merchant actually pulls out the money from his own vault and give it to the customer. So we have kind of broken this entire offering into two. One is the cash use of the merchant, so there is no cash replenishment, there is no cash other issues, and the technology is taken care of by this micro ATM device. So we are the market leaders as far as micro ATM is concerned, and we believe that is another way we've been able to democratize the entire offering for the market.
So you told me that you might want to launch new products and offerings when it comes to the investment side. You don't have credit as yet. What kind of products and services?
So credit, as I mentioned, credit we are able to offer through partnerships. So we don't take credit on our own books, but through partnerships we are able to offer. As far as investment is concerned, we are looking at bringing investment mutual fund products through our partnership with other mutual fund companies. And for that, we have already applied to the regulator for approval. We are also looking at digital gold also as a product which we can offer to on our platform. These are a couple of investment products which is there. Over and above that, we already have insurance products through our partnership ecosystem, which we are able to sell to our consumers.
Okay, with that, I'd like to thank you, Mr. Gupta, for joining us here on ET Now. All the best for your IPO, and see you back closer to listing day.
Thank you, Nayantara, and thank you, ET Now. Have a nice day. Thank you very much.